What's a success look like for you? And not just for Enerlink, but for the energy transition as a whole. So if we sit here in 15 years' time, what do you think?
We have to have a world where there's far more solar systems on roofs. There's also, micronuclear is obviously the two main forms of local energy that we're going to be looking at in the future is micronuclear, solar systems with battery backups. And we just have to have a world where we're taking advantage of all of this. There's so much energy that's falling on the planet every minute. There's so unbelievably much and we're just wasting it. So it's like, you're Irish. I'm guessing you like your Guinness, your beer on occasion. So it's just like having, this room with a whole bunch of Guinness, and you're taking a sip of one glass, and all the rest is going to waste.
Negligible.
It's terrible. I hope that in 10, 15 years, and I hope that we were a big part of that there are just far, far, far higher percentage of roofs that have solar systems on it. Like if you're thinking from our particular niche, but in general, we have to create a clean energy future. We're going to have to double our energy production in the next 15 years. So all of those new projects just simply have to be clean energy. There's no way around it. It can't be a drill, baby, drill world. It's absolutely silly from any perspective. 25 to 50% of wars since 1973 have been because of energy. Venezuela, again, energy. So energy is at the crux of everything. I don't know if you've heard of the Kardashev scale.
Yes.
You've heard of it.
Yes.
So we're about 0.62 on the Kardashev scale as we use more and more of the energy that we're able to use of our particular planet. The story of humanity, the story of civilization, the story of life itself is an energy story. Yeah. So let's make sure we go down the right path, and success is really that we've done 20,000 projects already, that we've done multiple millions of projects, and that you go around and you're surprised when you see a roof without the solar system on it.
Do you think though, that technology needs to get cheaper and more accessible to Mr. and Mrs. Joe Bloggs at home, where and it's easy for them to install and get up and running? Or do you think there's a boundary where it's like the returns aren't there yet?
The returns are there. I mean, the returns are definitively there.
Definitely there.
The returns are there.
So why do you think then so why aren't Mr. and Mrs. Bloggs doing it in your eyes at the moment?
Well, capital. It's about that transition cost. So you'll often have situation A and situation B. B will make far more sense than A, but from order to get from A to B, you have to have that capital. It comes down to money.
Right.
And for that money to go to change from a situation A to a situation B, you have to create that trust. You have to optimize this. You have to make it that it's as bankable as possible. And then we can have the clean energy world.
Do you think if we could make it cheaper, the solar power panels themselves on the roofs, do you think that would be a big step?
They've already come down so much. They are, like I said, 52% cheaper on average. A solar plant versus a coal plant on average is 52% cheaper. So it's a mix of fundamentally two things. It is the fact that you've got those direct and indirect subsidies towards fossil fuels in the tune of around $1 trillion.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, the fact that there's just a lack of trust in many of the projects. There's more things at play here, but those are two of the fundamental issues.
And it's just a case, do you think, I'd be like saying before, it's just a case of certain people don't want to let that old school go. There's a lot of money, there's a lot of infrastructure that's already in place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, unfortunately, sometimes there's a lot of unions and there's a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
And they don't want to let that go.
And it's about transitioning. You can't stop it from one to the next, but there has to be, definitively all the new projects have to be clean.
Yeah.
And then otherwise it is a transition. We've got to be pragmatic and realistic. There is an economy behind that. There are livelihoods, but we've got to stop subsidizing.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind. On the one hand, we're saying, we realize like this is the greatest problem, and we're subsidizing that the greatest problem continues.
Yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal.